In the last episode, I told you about how I went to Jamaica during one of the most difficult times of my life. Instead of support, I was met with accusations and chaos. That's when I knew something deeper was off. When I got home, it got worse. Mind you, it was Thanksgiving. I went in the kitchen, made a plate, because I had food catered for my son, daughter in law, and the baby, right? Because I knew I wasn't going to be home to cook for Thanksgiving, so I had the food catered. So I went in the kitchen, made a plate, went in the living room, sat down, turned on the TV, and started watching Netflix. I started watching a movie. So my husband was sitting down in the living room already. I didn't say anything to him. I know that was rude, but I don't care. He carried on bad the day before, right? So I didn't say anything to him. Plus, I didn't want any drama. I'm exhausted. I just got off the airplane. I wanted to take a shower, but I was hungry, so I ate. I sat down and I started eating. My son came downstairs, brought the baby in front of me to see me, stuff like that. Talk to the baby, whatever. Play with her. And then my son and his family left to go to her mom's house for the Thanksgiving, right? My sister came by, got a plate, left. Then I realized, I'm downstairs with this man. Let me just go upstairs and get myself together. Went upstairs, took a shower, got in bed. Then he came upstairs. So I went back downstairs, turned the TV back on. And I said to myself, if this man come downstairs, it's going to be a problem. So said, so done. He came downstairs. He's like, Kimali, we need to talk. He said that a couple times. I just ignored. He said it again. He's like, we need to talk. I said, what we need to talk about? What would you like to talk about? He said, we need to fix the relationship. I said, I'm not fixing a relationship. I'm not fixing a relationship. You called my sister 1,000,000 times last night. Then you start to text her and tell her that you knew she was playing you all along and she's been lying to you and she knows that I'm there with the man, all this kind of stuff. And it hurt my feelings because you hurt her feelings. So there's nothing to be fixed between you and I. So he starts shuffling around, moving stuff. I was like, listen, if you're going to leave, just leave quietly. I didn't mean leave forever. I said, if you're going to leave quietly. Oh, you can't put me out. You can't put me out. I said, I never said I was putting you out. I was like, you think I don't know what I got myself into? Like, I know what I got myself into. So he's like, oh, this and that. So he's, doing the most. He's packing his stuff and talking and doing whatever he's doing. He's asking me back for the ring. I was like, which ring? I'm giving you nothing. Asking me for the ring, this and that. Oh, because you don't represent me and all this stuff he's just saying. And he's saying stuff, but I'm listening to him. Oh, I made my mind up. When you was in Jamaica, I made my mind up that if we can't fix it, me gone and this and that. Okay, great. So he's going back and forth now, going up the steps, coming down the steps, like he's literally packing his stuff and bringing his stuff down to his vehicle. So I didn't say anything to him. I went upstairs too, and I picked up, I'm looking this way because that's where the picture was. We had a picture in the picture frame on the dresser. I took it up. He was like, yeah, dash that way. He told me to throw it away. So I went downstairs and I threw it away. He called me a bitch. He never called me that. He never talked to me reckless. This was shocking, right? It was just different. So I went downstairs and I threw the photo in the frame in the garbage. That's when he said the 4 words. Any Jamaican knows that if somebody says it to you, it's like the most disrespectful thing a Jamaican can say to you. He said it to me. Go SYM, right? I was in shock. I said, yo, you just told me go SYM? He says, you didn't hear what I said? So he doubled down. I said, okay, cool. Now I know we're on another level now. We're getting closer and closer to the point of no return, right? So he said that to me, and I'm like, my deceased mom. But I didn't crash out. I stayed calm. At the end of the day, this is a man, and he seems to be a bit unhinged at the moment. So I went and I sat down on the couch. And watched him go back and forth with his stuff. And I guess I was too cool for him, because the next thing I heard was his phone on speaker. 911, what's your emergency?
This is your wife, is that correct?
Yes, my wife.
Was it physical or verbal?
I think it's more like physical.
Chris, you gonna lie?
Does anyone need paramedics?
No. When I
Chris,
start,
you know
when I
it's a crime to lie to the police, right?
When I start the video.
Right now.
Okay.
Chris, you know it's a crime to lie, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Okay.
She pulled a gun on you, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I have a text message in my phone. And I have several more. Yeah.
Where's the gun?
Huh?
Where's the gun now?
The gun is in the house. I think it's a couple days ago. And I'm so scared.
And you're so scared. Chris, oh my God. Oh my God. The man said, yes, I need the police here. My wife backed a gun on me a few days ago. Your wife backed a gun on you a few days ago. So I'm like, yo, you gonna lie? He's going back and forth with his things to his vehicle, and he's trying to talk on the phone as well. So when the operator heard me say, you gonna lie, she trying to overtalk me now. She's like, you said it's your wife? And he was like, yes, my wife. And she was like, you know, where's the gun now? He was like, oh, the gun is in the house, this and that. He says, I'm so scared. I'm scared for my life, or something like that, he said. And I'm like, you scared for your life? And then I said, you know what, Kamali? You're going to sound like a crazy person on that 911 tape. Be quiet and go sit down. At this point, my heart is coming out my throat, because I'm saying to myself, how am I going to prove to the police that I did not pull a gun on this man? Because why would this man be saying this if it's not true? It's taking me back. Why would he be saying if it's not true? And you have a firearm. I'm just sitting there saying to myself, yo, I'm about to go to jail. It's Thanksgiving. And everybody knows if you go to jail on Thanksgiving, you're not getting out till Monday morning. There's no court. Everybody's on vacation. There's no court until Monday morning. So that's what's making me extra hot. So I'm sitting there, I'm just trying to keep myself calm, keep myself cool. My mouth is dry and my heart's coming out my chest. And I'm just like, how I reached here? So then I went upstairs, threw on some sweats, threw on some socks, put on my sneakers, like, okay, I'm ready for it. And I'll put a credit card in my pocket, my top pocket, like just in case it's a miracle I get to self-bond, I'm a self-bond. Went back downstairs and sat down. Then it was quiet for a while. So I looked out the door, I don't see him. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me go to the police station, tell my side, and if they have to arrest me, they can arrest me at the station and not in front of my house, like some criminal, right? Okay. So I walked out the house and I'm looking at the mouth of my complex and I see 3 police cars there. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me go talk to them. I feel like maybe they're at the wrong address. The mailman don't know the addresses, so maybe the police got mixed up too, right? So I went up to them. I got out my vehicle and I'm like, excuse me, officer, I think y'all at the wrong house. So the lady cop, this black lady cop, she was like, why? Did something happen there tonight? I said, no, my husband called the police lying, saying I pulled a gun on him. So she was like, oh, you're all right. He spoke to us, and he said he got all his things and he's not coming back. So I says, okay, so I could change my locks? She was like, you could change your locks. He said he's not coming back. Okay, thank you. I thought that was the end. But the next morning, he started calling me nonstop. He started calling nonstop. The lesson: when someone, I think the most dangerous moment is when someone feels like they've lost control of you. If you think that was the worst part, it wasn't.